Watch how quickly the room changes once the accusation gets made.
You're a visitor. You're not even an American. You're a foreign national. You're here because we gave you a visa to be here temporarily, and now you're out there defending and supporting Hamas, a terrorist organization. You need to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked because we know that the president oftentimes resorts to very bigoted, xenophobic, Islamophobic, racist rhetoric when he is trying to scapegoat and deflect from the actual failures that he has himself.
These Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar. She should be thrown the hell out of our country.
It is important for us, one, to remind folks that we are Americans. We're not going anywhere, and we will continue to be in this country. And two, that Minnesotans are resilient, and we will continue to thrive.
What's up, everybody? It's your Huckleberry here, back with another reaction video. We're back on Mr. L. Boyd's channel. I enjoyed reacting to his video last time. This time he's got some commentary on Ilhan Omar and her baseless comments that she's always making and how Marco Rubio has responded to her. So without further ado, let's get into the queen of fraud here, Ilhan Omar.
These Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar. She should be thrown the hell out of our country.
It is important for us, one, to remind folks that we are Americans. We're not going anywhere, and we will continue to be in this country. And two, that Minnesotans are resilient, and we will continue to thrive.
What is the practical effect on the Somali community when the president says things like that?
I mean, it creates fear. And there is a possible danger that a lot of the people who follow the president have exhibited violence in many cases, especially in my case, whenever he has...
Only violence that I really see is the violence coming from the left, directed at like ICE officials and shooting at Trump and killing Charlie Kirk. That's the violence that I see. I don't really know what violence she's talking about, but there's clearly some violence going down. I just think that it's not really coming from where she's saying.
Said something about me that is derogatory or says I'm a threat to the country.
You are a threat to the country.
There's so many people that have been incarcerated over the years
you're talking about
that
words.
have been encouraged by the president's words.
Words. She's talking about violent words coming at her when we have violent acts coming from the other side. So violent acts versus violent words. Okay, yeah, that's the same thing.
And so there is fear for Somalis, not just in Minnesota, but across the country.
Be fully aware here. If we're allowing you access to the United States of America, meaning that something absolutely crazily horrible happened within your country, and then we gave you refugee status here, the last thing we as Americans specifically want to hear or even deal with is the fact that you are now in support of a group of people who absolutely have utter disdain for us. So by default, when Marco Rubio says, if you are in support of these absolutely terrible people and we saved your life, then you should probably go back to your country. When I hear people say, go back to your country, it always kind of makes me feel terrible, right? Generally, it's like, But in this context here, yeah, absolutely. For someone to
Absolutely, absolutely. It's like Mandami's wife supporting all the Hamas posts right on October 7th, and then there's something else that just came out about her crazy ass. Yeah, like these are evil people supporting evil people. And they get all the rights and justices coming here. She's able to accrue all this money and get wealthy and do all this stuff because of the way the country is now, not because of the way that she wants the country to be, which is asinine for her to even try to say these things. And it's hard to comprehend how they get off saying this stuff, except for the fact they get money somehow or another from pushing this.
Not like America, and they're an American. It is not the same, okay, as a refugee coming into the United States of America, disliking America, being completely wrapped within her all of her glory, let's say this year. Because if America was terrible, you wouldn't have come. But
Right.
you came because it was
Right.
better than where you were from. If that
Right.
makes any sense. That sounds super harsh. I know it does. But is it wrong?
Anyone with any common sense can see that. The president is personally benefiting from billions of dollars of deals, and he doesn't care at all about the people of Sudan who are experiencing famine and genocide. It's shocking to me that you can't admit that. It's clear that you seem more concerned about staying in Trump's good graces than sticking up for human rights and American
What is he
values
talking
that you
about?
once
That's an
were a
accusation
champion
you
for.
make. That's about
With
good
that,
graces.
I'm going to
Guys.
yield the
Have to
remainder of
conduct
my
the foreign
time to
policy.
Representative Olszewski.
Well, you make these claims about staying in good graces. You accuse people of
Reclaiming
being
my time,
corrupt.
Mr. Chairman.
I think no matter who was president, they would have to deal with the UAE. We have to. There are members.
That's not my question. We can have a policy debate about how we should engage with the UAE.
You're
I
making
just
claims
visited
about
there
corruption,
a
and
few
I'm
weeks ago.
answering that any president in the United States, I don't care who the president is, would have to deal with UAE. They're a member of the Abraham Accords, number one. They've been incredibly cooperative on a bunch of other issues. We don't agree with them on 100%. We have concerns about some of the things they do, but this is called
and
the
have
balancing
done.
of foreign policy.
Secretary
It is in our
Rubio, I
national
don't
interest
disagree
to
with
have a
you.
good relationship with the UAE, despite the fact that there are things we do we don't like.
Like the way she overall structured that question, you kind of smelled where this was going here. Like if you have followed the absolute crisis that has been happening in the Sudan, it's wild. Egypt has taken a gigantic quantity of people. I think Saudi Arabia has also. Like a lot of the neighboring countries are just basically taking the entire population of the Sudan because these rival factions inside of the Sudan are just absolutely annihilating the people to become the ruler of the country of no people because they're annihilating everyone. It is wild, okay? Yes, in fact, Dubai, the UAE, they are definitely in support of basically one of the groups that are doing this here. That is a factual statement here. But the fact that she's trying to correlate it to Trump, a little bit weird. And Marco Rubio is right here, 100% here. No matter what happens here, you're going to have to deal with that region because that region is just a hotbed of issues consistently and people, Sunni and Shia, who just do not kind of get along kind of large scale because their ideologies are similar, but they have a slight mismatch.
This is a president who has openly violated the very value our country aspires to uphold. Equality under the law, religious liberty, equal protection, and protection from persecution. And to distract from that, he's launching a blatantly racist attack on 4 duly elected members of the United States of House of Representatives, all of whom are women of color. This is the agenda of white nationalists. Whether it is happening in
Can't. Just because there's the common theme that you're all women of color doesn't mean he's doing it because you're women of color. There's a clear reason. Like he's doing, Boyd's doing the same thing I just did. I bet he's about to say the same thing.
chat rooms, or it's happening on national TV, and now it's reached the White House garden. He would love nothing.
It's a default argument that you can stand on because nothing trumps, pun intended, the race card. You can't beat it because it's too taboo to challenge it. So they're just always going to throw it. It doesn't matter how corrupt they are. It doesn't matter if it's Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard or if it's corrupt Letitia James or if it's Jasmine Crockett or if it's Ilhan Omar. They're just, it's because you're racist. And it's so ridiculous. Like what she's saying, it's white national.
Nothing more than to divide our country based on race, religion, gender, orientation, or immigration status.
Check out the shot.
Because this is the only way he knows he can prevent the solidarity of us working together across all of our differences. The only way to prevent us confronting the problems our country is facing, whether it is healthcare, climate change, student debt, or our endless wars. This is his plan to pit us against one another.
Like, guys, you know how easy it would be to basically decide one day, you know what, listen, I'm no longer going to live in the realm of like literal victimhood. I'm going to stand up on my own, basically, right? And make decisions for my family and those around me that are going to be conducive for our future, rather than consistently make excuses. Okay. Listen, if someone doesn't like you, who cares? It seems like everything that she says and everything that she represents basically is almost always, woe is me. The color of my skin is holding me down, even though she is in power. Right? In the racist country known as America. In her words, in her eyes, in her words, and her cohorts. The woman standing beside her is also basically the same person. The four women that she mentioned are all basically women of color in power in an allegedly racist country. What are you talking about?
How does that work?
You're just talking. Like, this is nothing more than virtue signaling.
You're
And this
just
is kind of
talking.
why, like, this whole thing gets lost on me, because it's like, why are you talking? Right? Like, shouldn't you find someone else that is going through all of these things mentally? Right? How about we stress test that specifically, immediately? Find someone who shares an ideology, like a toxic ideology that proliferates large scale in inner city ghettos or old steel towns in the Northeast, right? Impoverished steel towns in the Northeast where their population is starting to decline because as kids are coming to the age of adulthood, they're running from it because there's nothing to do there. And I'm talking about the people who stayed in those towns that are, let's say, white Americans, right? Or either white Americans in, like, you know, trailer park type of areas here, or even like any type of Hispanics in any type of ghettos, or black Americans in any type of ghettos, or white Americans in any type of ghettos. Understand this here. Let's stress test this, okay? Disregard all of the skin tone and be fully aware that a lot of how people decide to treat you is based off of your level of class, right? Like how you handle yourself, your culture, right? Not so much your skin tone. How about you do not act like, you know, people that we don't want to be around. Like, he just looks at people that are from some of these areas like, I don't really want to specifically purposefully be around people that embody a certain type of culture in the United States of America. And it's crazy because we can have the conversation, but there's a whole lot of people that are going to be super disingenuous, right? Guys, there are certain parts of every single city you will never want to walk around at any time. It's nighttime, forget it. Daytime, forget it. I'm talking about those people, the people who live in that area you don't want to go by, right? If you're talking about some of those people specifically are not getting the opportunities, it's really hard, okay? It's really hard because you see how they act and how they deliver opinions, let's say, or their standpoint in life, and you're just like, I don't really want to be around whatever that is, and that's regardless of skin tone anywhere. Because again, you can go to some places that are majority white American, okay, and you're just like, I don't really want to go over there. What is over there for me? Needles? Do you understand what, guys? Do you understand what hopefully you understand what I'm saying here, because sometimes people yell at me in the comments because they don't get what I'm saying here. I really hope seriously you get what I'm saying. There are certain parts of your town or your city or your state where you're just like, whatever that is over there, I don't want nothing to do with it. Okay? I don't want nothing to do with it. It's not racism in America. It is almost purely going to be classism and culturism. There's a specific culture that occasionally, you know, is associated to like class levels, right? That no one wants to be around, okay? There's no motion, there's no upward mobility, and listen to how Trump speaks. He only cares about upward mobility. You're confused here, but you're just attributing, they're just attributing it to skin tone. That is the most basically silly thing you can probably attribute it to, because again, I can name many a black American who do not who would also never go to the areas You understand what I'm saying here? What am I talking about, guys? Hopefully you understand what I mean here, bro.
I get what he's
All right?
saying.
But the way the left right now uses racism is just wild. It's weird. It almost never makes any sense. You're
Nope.
just trying to look for a cop out instead of trying to fix a
Defense
toxic
mechanism.
culture. Okay, a toxic culture. You're gonna blame it and say everyone is racist because they don't want to be in that area at any time of the day. I don't want to be. Listen, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right?
And if you say it enough, eventually some idiots out there are going to start believing it, and then they're going to go around preaching your talking point on the street and protesting about how racist we are. When it's very minuscule, if at all, and it has nothing to do with how you got your position and how you're handling your position and why people are voting you out or upset about your performance. He's totally right, though.
But of course, I can say that without being called racist because I'm black.
Right. All right, guys. Well, that was the video, short and sweet, and he's right. I mean, it's a defense mechanism. They're just going to be using that race card until it doesn't work anymore, and I don't see why it would stop working when nobody wants to challenge it, because if you challenge it, then you're then you're racist. It's like this vicious cycle. And as long as they're getting what they can out of it, positions, money, whatever, they're going to keep throwing it out there. Ilhan's not far off. She's probably enrolled in the University of Word Salad, where President Harris is, presiding over, because she just talks. There's a lot of just talk, and it's just like, oh, racist, bigotry, blah, 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 blah. Okay, how did you $30 million? And why is Somalia, if it's such a great place, why did you leave? Why are you here? And if we're so racist, how did you get to where you're at? It's all ridiculous stuff, guys. And if you like the caricature above that I showed you, where is it? Here. Then there were other ones. I showed you the AOC one in a video not too long ago. I got about 5 of our queens mocked up. But more importantly, I got some really sweet other merchandise in the shop that I just created. So go to Etsy and check out the No Queens Apparel shop. The link is in the description. You see it here, right there, hopefully. My editing is done on point. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. I'm your Huckleberry. You could call me Huck, and I hope to see you next time. You're a daisy if you do. Peace!